Setiausaha Agung DAP Kebangsaan, Saudari Henayo, Saudari Yobin, Saudara Ng Sui Lim, Saudara Lau Eng San, Saudara Rajiv, saya rasa ramai lagi adun dan ahli parlimen DAP yang ada di sini yang mungkin saya tak nampak, Saudari Lai Ngiot Lan. Tuan-tuan, puan-puan sekalian, salam sejahtera, salam ubah, salam bersih. 我们的血州同胞们，大家晚上好。Kami berada malam ini di Dewan ini bersama kerana kita ingin mempertahankan apa yang benar, apa yang betul, dan kita akan lawan habis-habisan terhadap Barisan Nasional yang akan menggunakan segala kuasanya untuk menekan, menindas pihak pembangkang, terutamanya pemimpin-pemimpin yang mampu mencabar Barisan Nasional. Kita boleh lihat Tuan Lim Guan Eng, dia beli rumah. Dia beli rumah dengan gaji yang dia mampu, dengan harga lebih kurang pasaran. Banyak orang kata sebab propaganda Barisan Nasional sebut adalah harga big discount. Tapi tidak. Dan saya rasa Saudara Gobin yang akan hadir tak lama lagi akan memberikan maklumat kepada tuan-tuan puan-puan. Rumah tidak dibeli dengan harga yang murah. Itu nombor satu. Nombor dua, beliau telah pun dituduh bahawa beliau memberikan manfaat kepada Cik Pang yang menjual rumah kepada beliau. But the fact of the matter, and the evidence is in all the documents, it cannot be fake. He was accused of converting a piece of land from agricultural status to residential status. But the fact of the matter is the land is not converted. The application was rejected. So mana ada rasuah? Mana ada corruption? Clear cut. This is an attempted political persecution by the Attorney General acting on behalf of a corrupt Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Najib Razak. When I was watching the live telecast of Attorney General Lynch in Washington, D.C., reading out the claims against the Wolf of Wall Street, against Riza Aziz, against Low Tek Jo, or better known as Joe Low, I waited for the PC in the House. As I listened to the press conference, my hairs were standing. Tears almost wanted to come out. 听我们美国的总检察师宣布行动对付刘德佐，对付 Riza Aziz， 对付这个华尔街之狼。小弟自己感觉好像要流眼泪 ，because after 6 years of exposing 1MDB, since my very first question in Parliament in March 2010, finally we are beginning to see some concrete action taken against the crooks behind the multi-billion scandal in 1MDB. 终于看到了 有行动对付那些怎样讲？那些贪污腐败的官员的朋党。很可惜，这个行动不是来自我们自己马来西亚。Unfortunately, the action kami mengucapkan selamat datang kepada Menteri Besar Negeri Selangor Datuk Seri Azmin Ali hadir ke majlis malam ini. 我们大家欢迎我们的血州大臣大都阿兹敏阿里来到我们现场。为何塞？We are disappointed. How come the money is stolen from Malaysia, but there is no action in Malaysia? How come the money is stolen from Malaysia, but we have to depend on a foreign country to catch the crooks for us? If you listen to the Attorney General of the United States, she was speaking as if she was fighting for the rights of the ordinary Malaysians in Malaysia. Our leaders should be doing that. Our leaders are failing us in Barisan Nasional. 应该是我们的自己的总警长他应该主动行动，把这些留的左流 Riza Aziz 跟我们的部长们有犯罪的全部抓出来，这个是他的工作，或者我们的反贪污委员会，或者我们的总检察长，可是没有任何行动，我们必须依赖一个外国政府，我们的自己马来政府没有用，我们必须依赖一个外国政府来帮忙抓我们这些犯罪者。虽然自己感到有一点高兴，有一点兴奋，终于有行动了，但是同时还是感到非常遗憾，有一点羞耻。我们马来西亚政府不能还得依赖外国政府来帮我们抓贼。It is a shame. Ia telah pun menjatuhkan maruah rakyat Malaysia. Kerana kita terpaksa bergantung kepada kerajaan luar negeri untuk menangkap penyamun perompak daripada Malaysia. Kenapa Ketua Polis Negara tak ambil tindakan? Kenapa MACC, SPRM tidak ambil tindakan? Kita rasa perkara ini cukup memalukan rakyat negara. Saya sekarang sudah 1 tahun tak boleh keluar negeri. Pasport ada, tapi tak boleh pakai. Kami mengalu-alukan kedatangan, ketibaan Abang Mat Sabu, Presiden Parti Amanah Negara, tiba ke Dewan Majlis malam ini. Saya tak boleh keluar negeri. Tapi mungkin itu merupakan satu nasib baik. Silver lining. Blessing in disguise. Cannot go out of the country, we have to think of blessing in disguise lah. 不能出国也要想有什么好处，不能出国。The blessing in disguise is, when I go overseas, people ask you where you are from. I will say from Malaysia. The reply from them is, you from Malaysia? Wah, your Prime Minister very good. Oh, embarrassing. Perdana Menteri kita memalukan rakyat Malaysia. So because I cannot go out of the country, I don't have to lose face meeting people overseas. But what is more important now is that finally, with the charge by the Attorney General of the United States, the most powerful country in the world, we can say once and for all, without fear, that we have a robber as the Prime Minister of this country. In November 2013, nearly 3 years ago, I had in my speech about 1MDB, during my conclusion, where I stated that we cannot allow the Prime Minister to continue robbing from the people. 3年前，在八达岭在野的一个行动党宴会，我在致辞时说，我们不能够继续让我们首相打抢人民的血汗钱。Because of this line in my speech, the YouTube video got viral, got 200,000 views on the internet. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Razak became very angry. Thanks to our friend there from Media Rakyat, he put up the video. He also kena sue. So Prime Minister sued me for defamation. 我们的首相感到非常生气，他告我诽谤，把我们两个他是把这个 video 放上网上的Media Rakyat 告我们两个诽谤首相。Case ini masih ada dalam mahkamah. The case is still ongoing in the courts. We have not reached a hearing date. But let me say this to everyone today. I cannot wait for the day where I get to bring Najib to court to sit in the witness stand to tell us Malaysians how did Tony Phua defame him when he said he is a robber in this country. Kita akan mengeluarkan semua bukti-bukti yang telah pun disenaraikan oleh Peguam Negara Amerika Syarikat. Tahun 2011, dia mencuri sebanyak 20 juta US dollar. Macam mana dia curi? How did he steal 20 million US dollar in 2011? We have always known all this while. 1MDB paid about 1 billion US dollar to a company by the name of Good Star Limited. Now we all know, all this while we speculated that Good Star Limited is owned by Joe Low Tek Joe. But they deny, 1MDB denied, the government denied, the ministers denied. They said it is owned by Petro Saudi, which is 1MDB's joint venture partners. We have now conclusively proven that Good Star Limited is owned by Joe Low. Even Bank Negara knows it's owned by Joe Low. Bank Negara wrote to the PAC to tell the PAC that Good Star Limited is owned by Joe Low. But unfortunately, we have a cari makan PAC chairman, Hassan Arifin. He got the letter, he shake, don't dare to show the letter to PAC members. He says, surat ini sulit, tidak boleh diberikan kepada ahli-ahli PAC. Kita minta hari ini, semua rakyat Malaysia minta hari ini, supaya pengerusi PAC Dato' Hassan Arifin jangan lagi bawa muka ke PAC, letak jawatan serta-merta sebagai pengurusi PAC kerana beliau is unfit to be the chairman of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee. 这个资料其实这个 Good Star Limited 收了 1MDB 10亿美元不是马币，10亿美元。其实这个资料国家银行已经有了， 国家银行写信给我们的公账会主席叫公账会主席解释给所有公账会会员讲说 Good Star Limited 是留得着的，但是他把这个资料这封信藏起来，不愿意给我们的公账会委员看，这证明了我们的公账会主席 Hassan Arifin 是一个 cari makan 的主席，他是要保护他的首相，他是要盖掉所有罪案，他没有公账会的这个精神，他必须立刻辞职。这个是虽然我是公账会的其中成员，不理的到这个情况之下，我们要求他一定要辞职，因为他对不起我们马来西亚人民。So duit masuk dalam Good Star Limited. Lepas tu 24 juta dia bagi kepada tarik obaid, pengurusi ataupun CEO. Kita mengalu-alukan kehadiran saudara Lim Guan Eng ke majlis makan malam ini. 我们欢迎我们的国会领袖，行动党国会领袖林吉祥到我们现场。So what happened was Good Star Limited received $1 billion. They then transferred 24.5 million to Tariq Obaid's account in 2011. And a few days later, Tariq Obaid transferred $20 million to Dato Sri Najib Razak's account. So does this look like a form of donation? It is not. It is clearly a form of embezzlement. Najib Razak embezzled 20 million in that transaction where 1MDB paid $1 billion to Jolo, which is completely unrelated to 1MDB. In 2011, Najib Razak stole 20 million. In 2012, $20 million, not enough already. 2011年他是偷了2000万马币，不是，对不起，2000万美元，2000万美元。2012年2000万不够了，2012年他收了3000万美元进了他私人户口。So in 2012, he took 30 million. A 50% increase from 20 million in 2011. Najib took 30 million in 2012. And then comes 2013. So in 2013, Najib was desperate for money because he is facing the election of his lifetime. In 2013, Pakatan Rakyat at that point in time was on the verge of defeating Barisan Nasional. Because of that, he needed money to buy votes. 2011, he took 20 million. 2012, he took 30 million. 2013, he took $681 million from 1MDB directly into his personal bank account. That is what we know today as the 2.6 billion donation. Now the claims in the Attorney General's statement is very clear. 1MDB via its subsidiary, 1MDB Global Investment Limited, they borrowed $3 billion on 19th of March. On the 21st of March, they transferred the money to a few investment funds, a few of them. Then on the same day, these investment funds transferred $835 million to a shelf company by the name of Tano Finance Corporation, owned by Jolo's good friend Eric Tan Kim Long. And from Tano Finance, 835 million, they transferred 681 million into Najib Razak's personal bank account in Bank, Malaysia. I want to ask Najib, I want to ask the Attorney General, where is the Arab donor that you talk about? Mana penderma daripada Timur Tengah yang begitu terkagum dengan Perdana Menteri Malaysia, di mana beliau telah pun menderma sebanyak 681 juta US dollar kepada Najib? Mana dia? Mengikut dokumen yang ada disenaraikan oleh Peguam Negara Amerika Syarikat, tak ada Arab. Wang itu datang daripada 1MDB. Liu亿8100万美元进了我们首相的户口，是来自 1MDB 的。我们美国的总检察师讲得非常清楚，没有任何阿拉伯佬捐款给我们的首相，所以这个阿拉伯捐款是一个假象，是一个欺骗。他到今天为止都没有本事证明给我们马来西亚人知道，到底哪一位阿拉伯佬捐了这些钱给他。所以 sudah terbukti bahawa Perdana Menteri kita Dato' Sri Najib Razak telah pun menipu kepada rakyat Malaysia, termasuk seluruh kabinet Dato' Sri Najib Razak yang menipu kepada rakyat Malaysia, yang menyebut bahawa ada orang Arab yang menderma 2.6 bilion ringgit kepada Dato' Sri Najib Razak. There is no such thing. Dan saya minta di sini supaya Peguam Negara yang juga menggunakan cerita penderma Arab yang sama, beliau kena buktikan sama ada Peguam Amerika Syarikat itu salah. Kalau Peguam Negara Amerika Syarikat tidak salah, beliau perlu charge, beliau perlu dakwa Najib Razak serta-merta kerana beliau telah pun mencuri wang rakyat dan masuk dalam kocek sendiri. Kami mengalu-alukan Peguam hebat kita Saudara Gobind Singh hadir ke majlis malam ini. If the Attorney General cannot prove that what he said was true, that what he said that Najib received 2.6 billion ringgit or 681 million US dollar from an Arab donor was true, then he must either charge Najib Razak immediately for corruption, for the hit of the century, or he must resign immediately to allow an independent, honest Attorney General to be appointed so that the crooks behind 1MDB can be brought to jail. Agree or not? Setuju tak? Peguam Negara perlu letak jawatan kalau beliau tidak ataupun tidak rela membawa Najib ke mahkamah. Beliau perlu letak jawatan supaya seorang Peguam Negara yang jujur, yang ikhlas, yang cekap dapat dilantik supaya semua perompak, pencuri, penyamun 1MDB akan didakwa dan dihantar ke penjara. Tapi jumlah yang dicuri itu bukan sahaja 2.6 bilion. Based on the documents presented by the Attorney General of the United States, the amount that was stolen by Najib Razak was 731 million US dollars. 731 million US dollars. 731 million US dollars works out to only about 3 billion ringgit. It is not 3 billion ringgit that Dato' Sri Najib Razak stole. There is one more company related to 1MDB which Najib Razak stole money from. And that company is not part of this Attorney General of US investigations. That company is SRC International, formerly the subsidiary of 1MDB, but subsequently took over by the Ministry of Finance. Najib Razak stole even more money from SRC International, and that's why on my t-shirt, it says very clearly, the amount stolen by Najib Razak is not 2.6 billion. The amount stolen by Najib Razak is 4.2 billion ringgit. And this message we must send to all Malaysians throughout the country. Saya percaya tidak ada seorang rakyat di Malaysia kecuali yang telah pun menerima, Tun Dr. Mahathir kata dedak, yang menerima dedak ataupun yang makan dedak daripada Najib, kecuali yang sudah menerima dedak, tidak ada seorang di Malaysia, rakyat yang di Malaysia, yang rela seorang pencuri ataupun perompak menjadi Perdana Menteri negara kita. There is no way a citizen in Malaysia would agree to have a robber, a thief of such scale become the Prime Minister of Malaysia. We must take this issue to everyone, not just to everyone here, but everyone in all corners of Malaysia, in all kampongs, in all masjids, in all temples, so that they will realize that they must bring down Barisan Nasional if Malaysia is to have any future. That's something that we must do. Dan saya percaya tidak ada mana-mana agama seluruh dunia, tak kira Islam ke, Buddha ke, Kristian ke, Hindu ke, yang merestui seorang perompak sebagai Perdana Menteri. 在马来西亚没有一个宗教会认同一位这个打抢的来做我们的首相，一位强盗来做我们的首相。所以我们必须继续努力. Kita perlu bergantung kepada semua yang ada dalam dewan ini. Kita minta supaya semua yang ada dalam dewan ini jangan hanya bergantung kepada pemimpin-pemimpin yang naik atas pentas, sama ada saya ataupun Abang Mat Sabu ataupun Datuk Seri Azimin Ali ataupun Lim Kisiang ataupun Gobind Singh. Tak cukup. Dah terbukti di Sungai Besar, di Kuala Kangsar, kalau kita bergantung sahaja kepada pemimpin politik, kita tidak akan berjaya untuk mengubahkan fikiran rakyat di kampung-kampung. Kita merupakan setiap orang yang ada dalam dewan ini, tuan-tuan puan-puan sekalian, bila balik rumah, bermula besok, tiap-tiap hari, kena bagi tahu semua orang yang ada di sebelah anda, jiran, saudara, kawan, rakan kerja, semua kena bagi tahu bahawa kita tidak boleh lagi tolerate seorang sebegini menjadi pemimpin negara kita. 我们需要大家的合作，大家的同意，大家的这个认真以及努力，把信息传达给所有亲戚、朋友、邻居、同事们，让他们那些还对国政有好感、有同情的，改变主意，为了我们的子孙们。Dan saya rasa antara satu perkara yang cukup hangat sekarang yang dibincangkan ialah sama ada Pulau Pinang perlu ada pilihan raya negeri. One of the hottest topics today is whether we need to have elections in the Penang state. Now, Ketua Menteri Pulau Pinang ada hak untuk membubarkan Dewan Undangan Negeri untuk satu pilihan raya diadakan. Ada ramai yang takut, bukan sahaja orang awam, Tapi ada ramai ahli-ahli dalam DAP pun rasa tak tentu. Not sure. Are you sure it's a good idea? Saya nak sebut di sini dua sebab mengapa adanya satu pilihan raya sekarang adalah satu cadangan yang baik. Ini tidak bermaksud keputusan sudah dibuat. Keputusan bergantung kepada perbincangan, permuafakatan antara parti-parti dalam Pakatan Harapan. Kita bukan macam Barisan Nasional. Satu orang buat keputusan saja, MCA, MIC, gerakan dan lain-lain semua akan akur. Kita di Pakatan Harapan bermuafakat ketiga-tiga parti. Hanya jika ketiga-tiga parti setuju, kita akan adakan pilihan raya. Tapi sebab cadangan pilihan raya merupakan satu cadangan yang baik, ialah dua. Nombor satu, rakyat sekarang marah kerana Barisan Nasional menggunakan kuasa beliau, menyalahgunakan kuasa mereka untuk menaniaya pemimpin pembangkang. Sebelum ini kita lihat Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim sudah masuk penjara. Sekarang mereka melawan sama Lim Guan Eng. Rakyat bangkit, rakyat marah. The people are angry. Now, the state elections is not to save Lim Guan Eng. It is not to save Lim Guan Eng because they will charge him, they will bring him and send him to jail if they have to. The state elections is so that the people of Penang can fight back Barisan Nasional. So that the people of Penang have a say in the direction of the state and the country. Barisan Nasional now say, oh, Lim Guan Eng is charged and therefore he must take leave. DAP is saying he doesn't have to take leave because your charge is ridiculous. So who is right? And who is the best judge to tell us who is right? If Lim Guan Eng have to take leave, I am sure the people of Penang will vote accordingly and we will have to take leave from government. But if the people of Penang believe in the government led by Pakatan Harapan, then there is no need for Lim Guan Eng to take leave until the charges of Barisan Nasional, the Attorney General, are completed. Now we must write on this because we all know people's anger is short term. You are angry today. 1 year's time after Lim Guan Eng's case lasts in the court for 1 year, 2 years, people get tired. People forget. People get on with their life. This is natural. We don't blame the people, but this is a natural reaction. And we must strike while the iron is hot. And the iron is extremely hot now because the United States have just presented us with the best gift ever. The proof that our Prime Minister is a corrupt robber in this country. Tidak ada bukti yang lebih baik lagi untuk kita bawa ke pilihan raya untuk membuktikan bahawa Barisan Nasional tidak boleh disokong untuk mempertahankan pimpinan Pakatan Harapan di Pulau Pinang dan selepas itu di negeri-negeri yang lain. So we must strike while the iron is hot. You agree or not? We must strike while the iron is hot, or we must strike, or we must wait until the iron no longer hot. Najib thinks that the Malay votes are all with him, then only he call elections and we follow. Do we do that? Or do we take the initiative so that we make the advantage our own so that we can start the ball rolling in Penang, defeat Barisan Nasional, bring up the spirits of the whole country and move on to tackle the next general elections. Right or not? Setuju tak? Kalau tak setuju susah loh. Rakyat kena setuju. So we hope we will continue to consult with our partners, and once a decision is arrived, which I'm sure will be a wise decision, it will receive full support from the people, regardless of whether we do the elections or otherwise. But the rationale behind the thinking of wanting the elections now is precisely because we want to capitalize on two issues. Number one, the abuse of power by Barisan Nasional against opposition leaders, and number two, the proof finally which we have in our hands that the Prime Minister stole from the people. So kita harap tuan-tuan puan-puan akan teruskan sokongan yang tegar, yang kuat kepada semua parti-parti Pakatan Harapan, biar kita tidak hilang harapan, biar harapan bermula bersama Pakatan Harapan, dan kita percaya walaupun ramai tidak, kita percaya asalkan kita kerja dengan keras, kita akan berjaya tidak lama lagi untuk menumbangkan kerajaan yang rasuah, kerajaan Barisan Nasional. 谢谢大家，祝大家晚安，terima kasih.